In this podcast, we're looking into sports, clubs, and doing a weekly catch-up with Mr. Brown.
In this week's podcast, we'll be talking about football with Brayden and Isaiah, and we'll have Mr. Brown interview him a little about his coaching days.
Hope you guys enjoy.
Hi guys, I'm Isabella.
I'm Skyler, and we're here with...
Brayden Miller.
And Isaiah.
What position do you guys play?
Safety, receiver, and quarterback.
Receiver and corner.
Okay, so how long have you guys been playing football?
I guess we've been playing football for 10 and 11 years.
Yeah, 10 and 11.
And I started playing football because he started playing football.
Yep. My first ever football game was a flag football game, which was pretty cool. So
I started playing, I was actually playing baseball in the fall, and I saw him play first, and then I thought it was fun, and then it just kept going.
What's your favorite football memory?
Probably playing with him. Like our first ever game when we were 6, and we had no clue what we were doing, but it was just fun.
I think mine was my first ever travel year. I went down to Baltimore, and we were like 7, and we played this team that said they were 7, but they were like 9 and 10, and at that age we were like 4-2, and they were like 5-3, so we were scared and we were running around like getting killed and stuff. It was actually really fun.
I think it was fun because we didn't care, and we traveled to Tennessee. We just did a bunch of things. It's something that kids nowadays can't do.
For games, how do you prepare mentally and physically?
Mentally, I just stay locked in. I don't really jump around and dance around too much. I put my headphones on. I just listen to music, and then physically, I just lay down, take a nap.
I put my headphones in, and I go to my car, sit for a little bit, and then I go into the weight room, and it's pitch dark, and I just sit there and don't think about anything.
So it's like calm for the game and get nervous down?
It kind of just keeps me calm, and same with him. When you just sit in a dark room and you just listen to your peace and quiet, it just keeps all the distractions out.
What are your goals for this season and upcoming season?
The goal for this season overall is just staying as a family. Because right now we're kind of in a tough spot where we're 2-2, we're sitting even, and right now we're hitting some adversity and we're just trying to overcome that. So I think just sticking as a team is our goal for this season, and just one game at a time. And then for the upcoming season is just to progress off what happens this year.
I agree with him. We just gotta stick together. We can't go separate ways from each other. We just gotta stay close and just fix our mistakes.
I think when people look at your goals to make the playoffs or win a state championship, but the only way that happens is your own team. I feel like if you don't even have your own team, then there's no point in getting there. So that's really our main goal.
So Morgantown game, you got hurt. How do you think that's going to affect future games?
For me or just for the team?
For you first.
I feel like it's a big setback for me because I've actually never broke my ankle this bad. So the recovery is going to be longer than I anticipated it to be. And I feel like it's going to be a week when I get back out there, and it might be a big problem if we don't.
For the team, how do you think it's going to affect the team?
I don't think it'll affect much. I have Jaden in my spot right now.
Yeah.
He's doing really good. I like Jaden. I talk to him a lot, and he's a good player. Same with Zach. Zach's out there. They're filling that spot good, so it's all right.
What's your guys' football hype song?
Crazy Train. Ozzy Osbourne.
That might be. That's a good.
There's a lot. That's the big one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that's a good one.
Some games we're listening to 6ix9ine and just straight gang affiliated songs, and some games we're just listening to straight metal and bang your head off the walls. And
Taylor Swift in there. Go on.
Taylor Swift?
we mix it up. We mix it up a lot, but before games and everything, our main song is probably Crazy Train.
Run this town.
Run This Town, Rihanna, Jay-Z. We'll throw some Metallica in there, AC/DC.
You said Taylor Swift. What's your guys' favorite Taylor Swift songs?
Me personally, I hate Taylor Swift, Team Kanye. But if I had to pick one song from Taylor Swift, it would probably be our song. It's a mediocre one, but still Kanye on top.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't listen to Taylor Swift at all. Other than
I
one
can't
song.
stand Taylor Swift.
But
What?
Because watch her and Travis Kelce, mark my words, she's gonna make a song about it.
Yeah.
Mark my words, and it's gonna end up
Marky's
horrible.
words.
Write that down.
So I think that's it for today. Thank you guys.
thank you.
Hi guys, we're back and we're here with.
Well, I'm Eric Ashby Brown. I didn't know that I had to introduce myself.
Okay, wait.
But welcome. No, that's all right. That's okay. Let's roll with this.
Okay, so.
Tell us a little bit about myself. Is that what you want me to do? Yeah, I had the privilege of playing here at Musselman High School, football for Coach Price. And then as soon as I got out, I started coaching Midget League. I actually coached the Chargers for a couple of years while I was going through college. My first year into teaching, I was at Martinsburg High School, and a young coach came there by the name of Dave Walker, and Coach Walker was able to put me on the staff, and I was able to coach with Mike Mackey. I don't know if you all remember Mike Mackey from last year. After that, I went to Hedgesville High School, where I got put on the staff, and I coached there. Don Lehue was coaching with me, who's your assistant principal, and your new math teacher, Nathan Dunham. So I coached there for probably from '99 to 2004. Then I have 3 sons, and I realized that, you know what, I can coach, I have the rest of my life to coach other people's kids. I got one shot at mine. So then I started coaching the Broncos, where Trayvon Wesco, I was able to actually coach him. So now, with my kids, they're involved in other sports, and I show up and I do this. Yeah, that's beautiful. So part of it. So there's the introduction.
Okay, now you answer first.
You coach football, right? But
That-
did you play football in high school?
Yeah, I was able to play football in high school. I was actually a center at that time, a defensive end. I'm a little bit bigger now than I was then. But I really enjoyed all my years at Musselman High School coaching. Sean Kane, I want to throw a shout out to him. I played with Sean Kane there. I'm trying to think. Steve Campbell also was on the state championship team. So we got a lot of alum here that played football as well. And by the way, your head coach, Brian Thomas, I had the privilege of coaching him and having him in U.S. History 2 class, 7th period. I'm sure he remembers that.
So you guys won state champions your high school?
Okay. So we went undefeated my senior year. Went to one of the biggest games was against Martinsburg, 24-20 win. We went undefeated. We were ranked 4th in the state. Man was 1st. Bridgeport was 2nd, the defending state champions. They had won the year before. 3rd was East Bank. And we were 3rd and East Bank was 4th. That's right. So we go to Bridgeport, and we're able to beat Bridgeport and go to the state championship game against East Bank. That's a school that doesn't exist anymore. But if you know your history, Jerry West, that's his alma mater. He went there. So we went down. And we played a phenomenal game. We set 3 records. Lionel Royer rushed for the most records at that time in AA. But unfortunately, we had a couple of turnovers and we lost 13-9 in that game. Yeah, 13-9. We were actually driving. We were like about the 30-yard line, and we ran belly pass, and they were blitzing off the end because they saw what is called zoom motion, and they were in a 52 defense, and they blitzed a backer and an end, and they hit our quarterback, a real good friend of mine, Dave Shelton's in the Hall of Fame, in the back, and they picked up the ball and ran 70 yards. That's one of the memories of that game that sears in my brain. But that was a phenomenal football team. I'll put that 89 team up against anybody, but I'm biased, of course, in that matter. Yeah. So, yeah, those are my years with Musselman.
So do you rather play football or coach football?
What year am I? Am I the 51-year-old? I'd rather watch football at this age than anything else. Football's a demanding sport. It really is. I mean, the 3 days that you have. I hated August as a player, and I still hate August. I hated August as a coach. I mean, I hate August till today, even though it's my anniversary. Please, honey, if you're watching this, that's the one thing that really comes out good is my anniversary. 25 years of marriage. But, it's tough. It is grueling. It's not for the, not everybody, wants to play football all the time. So,
As a former football coach, what's your advice for the Musselman 2023 football players?
it's not where you start, it's where you finish. A lot of times people can, either get high up when you're winning or, low when you're losing. It's not where you start, it's where you finish, and that's what the most important things. It's the little victories. It's don't look down 4 or 5 weeks. You got this week, this game, and Coach Thomas has done a phenomenal job with them. He can tell you much more than I could ever tell you in this broadcast. But are we better today than we were yesterday? Are we better this week than we were last week? That's one of the biggest things that comes not only with football, but with any of the sports. Wouldn't you say Morbius? Yeah, Morbius says yes too.
Well, thank you so much for being on our podcast.
Hey, thank you for having me. And like I said, this was impromptu. Didn't know about these questions. But let's go, Pittsburgh Steelers. Got the win last night. It was ugly. But I'd rather take an ugly win than a pretty loss any day. Back to you at the studios.
Tune back in next week
To learn more about golf, Relay for Life, and catch up with Mr. Brown.
Musselman
Podcast out.